All right, today I wanted to do the 26 mile. Um, I'm not gonna be able to do it today. It's already 1:30, so I'm gonna do like the usual 90-minute workout while I battle my face off. Um, yeah. Anyway, yeah, because it's gonna take like 7 hours to do the 26 miles. That's taking a 5-minute rest every hour. That's going to take me to like 8:30, and there's too many things I need to do today. So here we go. Oops. All right, so we're bringing it up to a 4% grade, and I forgot to. Where is it? Where is it? Treadmill workout. There you are. Just gotta shrink it down. Oh God. Put it over here. Oh, oops. Where are you? There you are. Put you over here. All right. So now I'm gonna go up to 2.4 miles an hour. And I'm not really sure. I don't know. I gotta like time management has never been a strong point for me, but I'm trying to like change a bunch of things in my life so that the last however long I have isn't spent, wondering what the fuck to do. So here we go. The one thing you never have to twist my arm to do is this, but you know, no one's gonna pay me for this. Nice if they did. All right, we're going up to 2.8 miles an hour. This poor little treadmill. Monday, I have to go visit a gym. They're a private gym, and I don't know if they have cardio equipment. I don't know if they have treadmills. And that's where I wanted to have the fundraiser I'm going to do. If not, I have to ask the Planet Fitness that I used to go to. Still have a membership, but the reason I stopped going is I just don't have time. And the reason why I didn't cancel the membership is that it's paid for by an organization called Silver Sneakers. And since I'm an old fart, they pay for it. So, although that might change very soon. Um, Go up to 3.2. Oops. I really wanted to go for 26 miles today. I just don't have the time. So what? 3.2? Okay. Yeah. And part of me is thinking that I could make it into work tonight. Thinking of going in early tomorrow. There's just so much I need to do. But using Claude, the Claude desktop app, the game that I spent a year and a half working on is like this close to being finished. And that's one thing I want to do this evening or late this afternoon. I'll have the energy and the, what do you call it, state of mind to do it in. I'm going to go up to 3.6. I don't know how much time has elapsed. And this stupid ass thing says I already did 10,000 steps. I did not do 10,000 steps today. Yesterday I did my lunge workout, and my right knee was starting to like give me some messages. Telling me I'm not 25 anymore. So I have to listen to that. All right, I'm going up to 4 miles an hour. I'm gonna keep this up for 20 minutes. And then go up to 4.2 for 20 minutes and 4.4 for 20 minutes, and then start bringing it down. This would have been a good day to do it because I don't really have much to say. Or I don't really feel like talking today. I'm sure that'll change. When I do go for the 26, I have to queue up videos to watch and put the headphones on. Because being on the treadmill for 6-7 hours, if I don't shoot my mouth off, I'm going to have to keep my brain occupied somehow. The first 3 or 4 hours will probably be Trogly's guitar show. I like to watch him go guitar hunting, guitar shopping. And then he's on the phone with Steve Howe for about, I think, between a half hour and 45 minutes, around there. It's an interesting conversation. Steve Howe is my favorite guitarist. There are others I regard just as highly as him, but he's the one that kind of cemented the deal. Decided that, for me, I wanted to play guitar. But in addition to that, there's a bass right there, and another guitar over there, and a mandolin over there. Mandolin I haven't touched in like 2 years. But that particular mandolin sound is kind of, I might get a better one. It's not that it's bad, I think. I don't know. Maybe I should fuck with it a little bit more. I also have a lap guitar, double neck. My first double neck. Hopefully not my last. But I'm gonna try tuning it alternately. So on one neck, it has major and minor triads, and on the other neck, it has augmented and diminished triads. And that way I can use it for like more chordal playing than individual notes. So we'll see how that works out. So today's workout is just a continuation of the regular cardio workout. I really wanted to go for the 26 miles today, but I had to run out for a little while. And when I thought I would be starting it at 11, I figured I would be done around 6. So that's pretty good, but it didn't happen. 2.5 hours later, I'm starting it. My legs feel good though. Yesterday, I did a pretty hardcore lunge workout. 108 lunges. Divided into 3 sets of 36. Yeah, 3 times 36 is 108. And what I would do a forward lunge, right leg, backward lunge, right leg, forward lunge, left leg, backward lunge, left leg. But while doing it, I would do 4-pound lat lifts, just, 4-pound dumbbells. I would take them up to here, and when I'm on my knees, I would bring them up like this. Careful not to hit the ceiling fan. So I'm doing forward, out, and then laterally. And in the last 2 positions, being very careful to rotate my shoulder when bringing it above my head. Found out about that the hard way. Not too hard of a lesson, but the lesson was taught. So, my sister works Monday, so I might take Monday off and do the 26 miles then. So I'm not going to go, crazy Saturday night so I can work Sunday. Now Sunday is supposed to be good tipping days, so it'll work to my advantage. I used to hate Sundays. They were always the most boring fucking day of the week. By the time I was like 13, 14, I told my mom I'm not going to church anymore. It's just... it's just a good way to take a good chunk of the day away from you. And if you're religious, you think just the opposite. You know, you're getting fulfilled. And I understand that, but I'm not religious. And I don't want to take away from anyone's religion. What cracks me up, though, Jews, Christians, and Muslims, they all attack each other. All of them claim that their religion is a religion of peace, but they all attack each other constantly. And when I say attack, I mean verbally. They're constantly denigrating each other. And then you'll see a rabbi, a priest, and an imam get together. And they'll claim like they're trying to create this unity between us because together we are strong, but behind each other's backs they're calling each other pricks. That fucking prick. I find more often that the quiet ones usually embody the more graceful tenets of their religion. I could be wrong though. Frankly, I don't give a shit either way. Back to the workout. I think I have to tone down Thursday's lunge workout. Because 108 lunges, that's unnecessary. My legs are rocks. My legs are awesome. You know, I'm a mess from the waist up, but from the waist down, I'm as solid as you can get. And it's funny, because I really didn't do much in the way of leg exercises other than treadmill for the last year and a half. But when I'm in the shower and I flex my quads, still got the separation and all that. My hamstrings and glutes are really very, very tight, but oh, and the calves. I've always had nice calves. So I really don't have to do 108 lunges. So 24 times 3 is 72. So I'm going to cut out, like when I do the lat raises, I'll do forward and lateral and just do that. And that'll knock it down to 72 lunges total for the workout. The upper body stuff, Actually, I'm going from 9 to 12 pounds on the standard curls. So that makes me happy. And 9 pounds doesn't sound like much for a curl. It really isn't. But these are, what do you call it? I'm very strict with form when it comes to basically anything that's from like the chest up. So standard curls, reverse curls, shoulder exercises and shit like that, box press, shoulder shrugs, whatever the hell they're called. All of them, I try to keep my hips and my legs, I try to just keep them firm. I see a lot of people, when they do curls, they swing their hips into it. And that doesn't delegitimize what they're doing, but it kind of does too. They call them cheat curls, because you're gaining a lot of your momentum from your hips swinging forward. But when you have an 85-pound dumbbell in your hand, I guess you kind of have to. But if you're able to do that with an 85-pound dumbbell, why not use perfect form with a 45-pound dumbbell or a 50-pound dumbbell? If you can do, that's more impressive to me. When I see, giant steroid boys doing hump curls, it doesn't matter how much it is, they're hump curls, who cares? And that's kind of the way I feel about the fundraiser I'm going to be doing. Because it's just going to be an old fart doing 4 miles an hour on a treadmill. And even if I do it for 15 hours, who gives a shit? So maybe I should start rethinking how I look at things. Either way, I'm going to be jumping on the treadmill. April 25th is the date I have penciled in so far. Monday, I'm going to have to go to the gym, a local gym. It's LGBTQ plus owned. And I'm sure they'll be sympathetic to doing a fundraiser for Rainbow Railroad. So that works for me. And hopefully my finances will be in a little better shape, so I can spend more time training for it and stuff. Going up to 4.2 for the next 20 minutes to the 45-minute mark. I decided I'm going to do one of those fundraisers every 2 months. The first one's going to be for Rainbow Railroad. The second one is going to be in June, and that'll be for Transcend. They're an organization like Rainbow Railroad, but they're focused on Midwestern United States. And then August, will be for local animal shelters. When I had renewed interest in doing a fundraiser, that's what it was going to be. It was going to be for local animal shelters. But before that, it was going to be for the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. About 2 years ago, I called them and I asked about fundraising, and they had something planned up for a particular span of time in the fall of 2024. Where people would do various events live streaming, and it would go towards like the common good of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. I wasn't prepared. So let me see. This will be for Rainbow Railroad in April. June will be Transcend. August will be animal shelters. October could be for the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. And December, I want to do something for veterans, since all the war hawks seem to be ignoring them. All the billionaires who are profiting off of, like, you know, weapon sales and shit. They give scraps to the soldiers, you know, who are fighting the war to make them richer. Sounds kind of dickish to me. But I think it's funny who that a blue-collar working-class laborer who struggles to make $15 an hour has to do this shit. Now, there was a story about Pete Hegseth, whatever the fuck his name is, spending $90 million plus in a month. But I looked into it, and it was kind of what the defense contractors do. They have a certain budget, and they have to spend that money. Otherwise, the budget is reduced the following year. So what they do, end of the year, they would like throw all their computers in a dumpster. And then the workers would, like, you know, when I say the workers, I mean like the upper middle management and shit like that, would grab them and put them in their car and take them home. They're garbage, right? So Pete Hegseth did, this story's about a grand piano and expensive furniture and king crab legs and lobster tails. But the thing is, the musical instruments went to what do you call it? The military bands. The furniture went to the offices of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and shit like that. And it's so tempting to think of Pete Hegseth, and I don't like the guy at all, but it's so tempting to think of him like sucking down all this expensive seafood, but it went to the soldiers, it went to the mess halls as a morale booster. And I'm all for it. And it makes me wonder if the people who are actually opposed to Trump and everything are actually just working for him behind the scenes, making bad faith arguments. You know, for the people who are publicly for him to point out and say, "Oh, look how wrong they are." And to me, that's like the pinnacle of cynicism. But that's what they want. They're a bunch of pricks, you know, trying to manipulate us any way they can. Two-mile mark. Yay. 2 o'clock. Looking at the screen, like it feels like my legs are moving so fast, but looking at the screen, doesn't really appear to be moving that fast. I can't run because if I run, I'll get winded. And the running pad on this isn't really long enough to run safely. I mean, you could put your hands on the rails, but then it cheapens your workout. I went out before to get more Gatorade. It was down to the last bottle. And I still thought I was going to be doing the 26-mile attempt. On the way home, I kind of realized it's not going to happen. So I got a box of wine. Had a glass before. I never thought that wine would make me burp as much as it does. It was just one glass. And it wasn't a glass, it was, a glass. Glass. Ah. 17,000 steps. Ooh. This thing is so full of shit. It said I had done 10,000 steps before I even got on this thing. And I didn't. I know I didn't. I didn't walk any 10,000 steps this morning. I mean, when I was figuring out my day, I did some pacing back and forth. I always do that. Did 2 loads of laundry. I went to the gas station to buy a Gatorade. I went to the liquor store to buy a box of wine. Where the hell did these 10,000 steps come from? But now I'm on the better part to 20,000. The thing this thing does, the one thing I kind of got it for was to locate my phone. Because one time I lost my phone and I went on the Google Fi site to see where's my where's my phone? I can ring it and find it. It was somewhere in the house. I don't know my neighbors, so I can't ask them to ring my phone. My sister was at work. My closest friends are 8 miles away. What do? I go on, like I said, I go on the Google Fi site. I ask Gemini, hey, how do I ring my phone? Oh, go to the website and go do this. I don't see any of the tabs or buttons or pages that it says. And it starts getting flustered of all things. AI getting flustered. So I got this stupid ass thing. Whoa. And the thing that sucks the most, all the watch bands, all the custom watch bands available for it are too small. It annoys the living shit out of me. Alright, going up to 4.4 miles an hour. For the next 20 minutes. That's 3 miles. 350 calories. Oh, I was 150.2 pounds this morning. That got me very excited. Tomorrow probably 151, you know. Sunday I might be below 150. It depends. I want to work tomorrow night. Actually from like 2 to 10. 2 in the afternoon till 10 at night. So I'm really not going to be doing too many, I'm not going to be drinking much tonight. I'm going to see if my friend's on Discord, but not until like 9 or 10. Last Friday, he went on at like 5. And we stayed on, from 5 in the evening till 3 in the morning, drinking heavily. So, Saturday was a wash. And I puked in the Kroger parking lot. I ran out of Kroger zero sugar ginger ale. And that's what I like, especially when I'm hungover. But I was out. So I went and got more and puked in the parking lot. Whoa. But after this, I'm probably going to make something to eat, probably my vegetable soup. It's very high in sodium, but you look at what I do. So I have it on my cardio days. But the next time I make it, I'm going to make it so that it's less sodium heavy, And really all it is a bunch of cans of various types of vegetables. So it's canned vegetables. The water in the can provides the stock. The thing is, though, it's so high in sodium. Now, I don't have that problem because I train like this. I train like a friggin' nut. But, for somebody who's not training for something specific, you could say I'm training for the fundraiser, but I'm doing the same training I do anyway. But I sweat a lot. You can see it, my shirt changed colors. Maybe down here it's the same color as it was. Probably not. But I used to, before I got these shirts, these are made by Real Essentials. You get them on Amazon, but they're nice. They're lightweight, they're comfortable, they fit well, and they draw sweat away from the skin. Not as well as the Rothko. The Rothko moisture wicking shirts. Oh, excuse me. they would draw like all the sweat, like a sponge. But they smell. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just my body chemistry. But if I sweat up a Rothko shirt, it stinks. I remember stopping off in Walmart a few times on the way home from the gym. People looking at me. But I used to get a kick out of watching the shirts change color. You know, from the sweat. These do the same thing. But I love these shirts. I want to get more. They're about $7 each, but you got to buy them in packs of 5. So it's $35. Dollars. And yeah, you can't really see my closet because my head's in the way. Oh, most of my shirts aren't in the closet right now. They're on the bed behind me, waiting to get folded up and hanged or hung. I forgot to use my inhaler again. I said I don't need it. I got a little bit of that muscle soreness in my quads from yesterday. But it feels really good. It feels like you did something. keep getting this little ad popping up on my screen. I feel sorry for him. It's from Carell. And if you remember back in the days, back in the 90s, early 2000s, Carell was a serious competitor against Adobe. And they had a program, they still do, it's called Painter. And it's really cool. You know, if you got a good computer, it's really freaking cool. But it hasn't been updated in 3 years. And the little advertisement I'm getting on my other monitor, the right-hand monitor, is saying you could save $80 on Painter 2023. It's only $148. Now, if they said save $148, you can have it for $80, I'd be a little more interested. It's a shame, but I think Painter is going to end up the same way as like View and Plan Factory by Eon Software. Eon was bought by, I think it's, shit, I forgot their name. Starts with a B. But anyway, this Bentley, that's it, Bentley. A software company named Bentley bought Eon Software. They tried to put View and Plan Factory, 4 mile mark. They tried to put View and Plan Factory on a subscription basis, but the price was too high. I was considering it for a long time, but it was just too fucking expensive. You know? I mean, who did I think they are? Tommaso Ziddio? Now that I did subscribe to. But anyway, the subscription model was just too high. And the computer I had at the time wasn't going to run it. So I didn't get it. Bentley decided they can't support the software anymore. It's not making money anymore. There are too many competitors nowadays. Now, this was the software that was used to make Avatar. You know, the background mats, the matte paintings. Those were all rendered out in View. Same thing with Pirates of the Caribbean and a bunch of other big fucking budget movies using this software. But Bentley decided, you know, we can't support it anymore. So now it's free. And there's a guy named Quad Spinner, probably rivaled only by Vladimir Chopin, or Chopin. I think his name is Chopin. Vladimir Chopin. Anyway, Quad Spinner made all his stuff for View free. Released it all on GitHub. Fucking love that guy. But his landscape materials, his atmospheres, all top notch. And they were all made not to be resource heavy. Now it's all free. And I got a computer that can run it. I just don't have the time or the inclination. Someday I'm going to get ZBrush. And I'm going to sculpt a bunch of wild land shapes. I call them arboliths. And I'm going to apply Quad Spinner's materials to them. Get Gaia 2, do some landscapes in that, import them into View or import them into Blender, and render away. And hopefully by then, I will have made enough money where I can get a second A4500. I don't have a gaming card. I have a workshop card. But I want to SLI two of them together. I don't think they use the term SLI anymore. It's not Crossfire. That was AMD's. But whatever the hell they call it. I want to put two in that box. You can't see my computer from, on these cameras, but it's there. And instead of 20 gigabytes of video RAM, I'll have 40. And what's cool is that the A4500s, their prices haven't really gone up. Now, if I make some ridiculous amounts of money, I might open frame my computer for cooling and run two A5500s instead. I don't know. I gotta. Heat is the computer's main enemy. Heat and dust. So I'm gonna have to do something about my warm and dusty room. Ooh. All right, in a little less than a minute, I'll be going back down to 4.2 miles an hour. And in about a half an hour, I'm gonna have another glass of wine. Then I'm gonna go take a shower. And then I'm gonna go talk to Claude about finishing my game while slurping down some vegetable soup with way too much sodium in it. Okay, here we go. Down to 4.2. Going up 0.2 miles an hour from 4 to 4.2, from 4.2 to 4.4. Doesn't really feel like you're going that much faster. When you're going down from 4.4 to 4.2 to 4.0, you feel it, how much you're slowing down. And it's kind of funny. But for the next 15 minutes, I'll be doing 4.2, and then 10 minutes at 4 miles an hour, and then the cool off. All the effort I put into getting nowhere. That's not true though. I used to do this outdoors, going for walks and stuff when I still lived in New York, but I know my luck is going to run out someday and I'm going to get run over. And there was a guy, went by the name Fast Freddy. Used to drive his bicycle around town I hung out, I lived in. Had a band, this guy Bob. We used to practice in his garage. And Fast Freddy would come by, drinking beers. And he was alright. I mean, he was, local drunk dude. About We were all in our early 20s. He was like, I guess, mid 40s or late 30s, but he looked mid 40s, you know what I mean? Hard life. But apparently, he was obsessed over this woman around our age, maybe a little older, like 23, 24. Or she may have been younger. She may have just been a teenager. I don't know. Ends up this girl was the daughter of, and one of three things, either a mafia guy, and there's plenty of them on Long Island, a pagan, who's that's a motorcycle gang, or Hell's Angels, which is a more famous motorcycle gang. But anyway, Fast Freddy got run over and killed. And it was considered an accident. But everybody in that town was like, yeah, accident, okie dokie. Now, I don't fixate on anyone's daughters, but I do have a tendency of pissing people off. Not intentionally, but I just piss people off, some people. And I don't want there to be any accidents while I'm out, you know, trying to get fit. That's why I like the treadmill. Now, my farmer friend says, why don't you just come walk around the farm? And that's because the pastures are filled with horse shit. And there's also big divots. God knows how many times I've walked through that field. Actually, those fields. And my foot would just like fall into a depression, either from a horse or a goat or somebody clawing at the ground. I like the fact that when my foot falls on the treadmill, it's consistently flat, you know, there's no ankle bending. And if I have to go to the bathroom, it's right there. Although I've had to pee in the field a few times. I had to shit behind the chicken coop once. That sucked. I had to cut the arm off my jacket, not my jacket, my sweatshirt, so I'd have something to wipe my ass with. That was quite a day. Funny though. there's a lot of lag. When I took a drink, I got the OBS on this monitor, and on this monitor I'm not monitoring the feed. When I set up the stream, I put it on ultra low latency, but what do you call it? The stream is about a minute behind now. By the way, we just crossed the 5 minute mark, 5 mile mark. Ooh. And there was some lagging earlier, about half hour, 45 minutes ago. It's interesting. Ooh. About 5 more minutes of this, and then we go down to 4 miles an hour. I think today would have been alright to get 26 miles in now, because I wouldn't have been talking, so I wouldn't get winded. And I'm not going up to 4.2 and 4.4 miles an hour. And the incline is only a 2% grade, so I think I would have done all right. But sometime next week, Monday or Wednesday, I can't time it for Friday. So it'll be either Monday or Wednesday, depending. My sister works alternating Mondays and Wednesdays. She and her business partner alternate from week to week. So whatever day she's at work, I'll do all day on the treadmill. But today I just got off to it wasn't a late start. But I started off with some laundry, and before doing anything else, I wanted the first load to be finished. Now that was a light load that only took like 20 minutes in the wash, but it took about an hour in the dryer. And I wanted to spend some time with the dog, playing with him. He needs that. He's very high strung. But he's getting better. When my sister would leave for work, I mean, he's her dog. I mean, he makes sure everyone knows he's her dog. So, like he guards her doorway when she's in her room, and I go to, like, you know, give her the mail or something, he'll be like right in the doorway. And I'm the one who feeds him and plays with him and stuff. So, you know whose dog he is. But, when she used to leave for work, he would wail like a mourning mother. I mean, some of the sounds he made were so pitiful. Sad, but funny as hell. Because, they're really, dogs are, their behavior is, you know, I don't want to say evolving, but it is. He will, at some points, he'll just go, And it's so sad. And he'll take the leash off the counter and he'll hold it in his mouth and go up to the door, and it's so sad. But at the same time, it's so funny because 8 or 9 hours she'll be home. Now when she comes home, he goes absolutely bonkers, jumping around in circles and stuff, and that's funny too. But nowadays, the last like 2 weeks, the mornings haven't been so rough. He'll bark a little bit, and then he'll run into here and jump on the bed with me. And I'll spend some time with him, before I make my tea and stuff. Oof. Alrighty, we're almost at the 80-minute mark. That's when I go down to 4 miles an hour again. Okay. 4 miles an hour. So 0.4 miles an hour feels like a tremendous difference. It's funny. I brought this up to 5 miles an hour. That would wind me way too fast. I would love to do the fundraiser 5 miles an hour on a 5% grade. But I don't think I could do more than an hour or two. Maybe even just an hour. Maybe even less than an hour. I don't know. Planet Fitness, I used to do 5 miles an hour. But it didn't last. I think, well, you see, their treadmills turn off after 60 minutes. Well, what happens, you don't get a warm-up. You go right into your workout. It'll run for 60 minutes, then you get a 5-minute cool-off. This thing runs for 99 minutes. So you can give yourself a 5-minute warm-up, do a 90-minute workout, and then have a 5-minute cooling off period. Roughly. You got a 4-minute cooling off period. But my workout is really 85 minutes. So I get the 5-minute warm up and 5-minute cool off. And the cool off ends at it's supposed to end at 95, but it ends like 97, 98. I like a long cool off. And that's in about 7.5 minutes. But also trying to do the marathon length. Actually, you know what? I'm only going to do that on Mondays. Sunday's a rest day for me. So every 2 weeks, I'm going to try to do the 26 miles. Or as long as I can, whatever's practical. But yeah, so I just changed this week around. Fridays will be just a late day for me. It'll be a day where I go into work at like 6, get like 4 hours in, 4.5. Saturday can be a long day, 2 to 10. Sunday can be hit or miss. Maybe I work, maybe I don't. Mondays can be off. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, work days. That works for me. When my sister works Wednesday, that can be like another late day. Go in like 4 or 5. That way the dog isn't in the kennel for too long. My sister says not to worry about it because he spends most of his time lying around and sleeping anyway. We have to put him in the kennel because he's chewed on the molding, he's chewed on the doors, he chewed up an entire, we had a sofa and a love seat, chewed the love seat up to shit. I mean, destroyed it. That was funny as hell. I mean, it sucked, but it was still funny as hell. When somebody would come up to the door, he would go nuts and you would just start ripping the couch to pieces. Originally, his name was Simba. That's a Swahili word, means baby lion. It's also the name of the main character in The Lion King, and so I begged my sister to change his name, please. I started calling him Dickel. He's a little dick. But she just started calling him Henry, and so Henry it is. But I think that's a great name, Henry Dickel. This is Henry Dickel from United Health. I'd like to talk to you about your coverage, or lack of coverage. We've reduced your benefits, but we're going to double your premium. How sick is your kid? Does your wife still ovulate? There you go. It'll keep her from being too independent. My name's Henry Dickel, United Health. So 3 minutes and 20 seconds till the cool off. I'm not counting down because I want to get off. I want to get off because I got shit to do. It's almost 3 o'clock, so I should be off by like 3:06, 3:07. Like another 30 seconds and we cross the 6 mile mark. We crossed 700 calories. And 6.01 miles, 6.02. Almost there. My legs feel solid. My feet feel good. I got plenty of wind, otherwise I wouldn't be babbling. And we are now at the 90-minute mark, so I'm going to go down to 3.6 miles an hour. Start to cool off. This is kind of the pace that, like, John Travolta walked in Saturday Night Live. You know? Staying alive, staying alive. This is the right tempo. 3.6 miles an hour. Six and a quarter miles. I'm going to go to 3.2 miles an hour. Like a minute and a half. So this is the speed John Travolta walked at Urban Cowboy. Yeah, that doesn't work. That's a little faster. That's like 3.4. Also, Achy Breaky Heart wasn't in that movie, I don't think. Achy Breaky Heart didn't come out till like the 90s or some shit. Urban Cowboy was like 80s, late 70s. Whenever Hollywood wants to start a new trend, they make a John Travolta movie. That was the formula back in the 70s and 80s. Hey, Saturday Night Fever kicked off the disco movement rather nicely. I mean, it was always there, but popularized it greatly. And then you have Urban Cowboy, and for a little while there, I remember seeing a lot of cowboy hats on Long Island, but only for about 2 or 3 months. And all the fashion boys realized everyone was like laughing at him and shit. But the people who were laughing at him were doing the whole big preppy thing, you know? Michael J. Fox. Young conservative. Oh. Do this for another 25 seconds. Then we'll go down to 2.8. And 2.8 miles an hour for just a minute. And then 2.4 for a minute, and then that's it for today. How long does it say I was on for? Yeah, hour and 35 minutes. Sounds about right. Yeah, so it's going to be about 6.5 miles. That's usually what it comes out to. About 750 calories. At Planet Fitness, you put your weight in and it determines the calories off of those. That's how it calculates the calories, but I don't think there's much of a difference until you're talking about like hundreds of pounds in difference. Then, yeah, a person much heavier is going to burn a lot more calories. But when they calculate these things for the average, I'm close enough to the average. A little on the short side. Okay, down to 2.4. This feels good. This is the speed I walk around Walmart in while I'm waiting for an order. Walk around. $2.99, you don't say. Oh, if only it was in my size. Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, you know what? If next Friday I'm doing a 90-minute workout instead of going for the 26 miles, I might not tone down my lunge workout. I don't know. I might. Yesterday's workout was fucking wild. It was good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. In between, oh yeah, yeah. In between each set of like 36 lunges, I would do forward and reverse curls, and I'll give my legs time to recover while still working my upper body. I'm not believing my upper body needs it so freaking bad. All right, I'm gonna let it cycle through one more time and then call it a day. Well, at least as far as this is concerned. So 762 calories, 97 3/4 minutes. I just want to see what the distance marker says. Yep, 6.53 miles, and we're done. Alrighty. So, yeah. When things are hammered out with the fundraiser, I'll start doing some videos on that, promoting it and whatnot. Um, it is something I'm dying to do. I'm really, I don't know, it would just make me really happy to do it. Make a difference in someone else's life, and, all that good stuff. Anyway, many blessings and many thanks. I'll be back Monday. Ah, back on the treadmill. No, actually, before Monday, I'll be back tomorrow with an upper body workout. I can't believe I forgot that. Anyway, I hope to see you then. Until then, take care and best wishes to you and all you love. Good health, good fortune, and lasting happiness.